polite, and that goes against me because I can't really be polite because I look like a fool when I am. But it's just like, I just had this like lady who couldn't even speak English. It was like, you gotta pay in cash because the card don't work. I was like, I just went to Walmart and used it, you know, it works. I was like, she's like, shows me it, and it's like, look, see, card doesn't work. And I was like, it says it timed out, you gotta do it faster. And she goes, what? I said, it says timed out. It didn't say it didn't go. It didn't go because you didn't do it fast enough, so you gotta do it faster, the card or whatever. And she was taking her time, whatever. Well, not taking her time, she couldn't really read it. I was like, how are you gonna do that if you can't, you know, do the credit card thing? So she's telling me like, where you from? I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Hey, so yeah, so I'm with this taxi lady, right? And she couldn't get my information down correctly. She goes, I need to see your ID. And I was like, all right, do you want to see my federal ID or my state ID, right? And then she goes, the only thing she recognized was my Hawaii state ID. I was like, this one's more important. You want to see my state ID? You want to see my federal ID? You know, my military ID? And so she looked at my ID and she's like, what kind of name is that? And I was just like, well, my car's gonna go this time. You know, talking about, I was just like, what kind of name? She asked me what kind of name. I was like, it's Latino. And she goes, well, what are you? I was just like, well, I'm Native American. But of course that doesn't matter. You know, but once I say it, they don't want to repeat it because they completely think it's something else. And then sometimes if they could speak English, I was like, you need to repeat that to me. I tell them, you know. And if they don't repeat it, then race does matter to you because it should be like nothing. If race doesn't matter to you, you should easily repeat what my race is, right? That's some of the conversation I get over here. But, you know, it's just like, why was it such an issue, right? And I was just like, well, my card's going to go. And then she tries it again, timed down. And she's trying to play like I can't read English type of thing. And I'm not from here. And I was like, that racist thing's not going to work here in the U.S. You can do it to me. You know what I'm talking about? Like, don't get me wrong. It's just like, it's just not going to fly, that racist shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you may think it, you may want to do it, but I'm going to crush it. And I guess you'd be a little bit better at it if you could speak English. And you'd be real subtle about it. Like, oh no, this is legitimate. But just be like, oh no, you can't, you don't understand it. And I was like, I understand it. It says time down anyway, so it finally went. But I was just like, I had to get like 2 things at Walmart. 2 fucking things. And I got it or whatever, but here I am. I accidentally turned around the corner and I got caught on something. And I was like, all right, I adjusted it, and this lady sees that I'm turning around, but she pulls out the cart, the Walmart genius lady that is right in front of me, as I'm turning around, knowing that I'm trying to park it on side. And obviously I thought she was gonna, customers are already right, move out of the way, but she's right in my way and I knocked right into it again. So I'm just like, these fucking people, man. It's just like, this is it. Like, I'm not even there. That's why I gotta act like they're not even there. I just like shove them out my way, man. This is like complete lack of respect. Because I can't even like casually do something. I need to pay attention every little thing, or else I get blindsided. I literally get blindsided by people running into me. And I'm at the point where if you're in my way, I just shove you out my way. I literally had to shove 3 people out of my way. I had a group of like 4 people. I mean, it's just like, and I'm a pacifist. I'm literally a pacifist. But it's dangerous. Dangerous for me not to do anything. I'll show you what I got. Like, so trivial. Switched out this scarf for this one. But you know, like in Jersey, my mom was racist, and I'm used to dealing with racist, and at least for the time being, when around me, they're less racist, and I can deal with them, and I get access to other white people who are not racist, and so you just gotta keep playing that role. Oh no, you're not racist, blah blah blah, and just going, you know, knowing damn well they are, and you just navigate around them. Play, you play with fire or whatever, you know, because they could burn you, because they want to throw you on the rug at a drop of a dime, and you know, be sycophant, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. So we gotta be up in their shit, but you just don't allow them access to your community, you know what I'm talking about. So you gotta watch out for like white people coming into like Latino, Puerto Rican communities, and putting in their white values and racism. Yeah, they don't care about you. They'll lie like right blatantly to your face. So you just get, you know. But I'm used to that. I grew up in Jersey. Yeah, they'll blatantly lie. And the thing is, it doesn't work on me because literally I'm Native American. So I'll be like, look, that shit. I know you're white. You're just playing the role. You know what I'm talking about. And then other people try to play like they're Polynesian, but I could guarantee you, I would love to say 80% of Polynesians don't do that, but it's like a significant number don't do that shit to me because they know I'm native or whatever, and they know where I'm coming from. But maybe it's some number that fluctuates up and down depending how things are, external stuff, how I feel, and what I put out there, you know, back and forth. It's probably the truth. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Anyway, so I got that teddy bear, right? I took off the scarf, even though I had it, and she could barely speak English. And she's not local. She was directly from Asia someplace, you know. I'm gonna guess China or Vietnam or something. I'm not sure. But anyways, it doesn't matter. And I'm alright with that, you know what I'm talking about? I was just like, she's just trying to find out her way. And so I took the scarf off the teddy bear and I gave it to her. And she's like, oh, no. I was like, here you go. And she's like, all right, thank you. So, I mean, even if you're rude to me, I'll be nice, you know what I'm talking about? Even racist, I'm all right, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't affect me. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, I get nothing back from it, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But she has to understand, like, there's people of dark skin color in America that done a lot more than any white person will ever do for this country. Let me correct that. There's people, definitely Native Americans, that have done things for the United States of America than the majority of white people would do. There we go. That's more accurate. And those are the minorities that you don't pull the shit to. And if you do, there is a very strong chance, significant portion, shit's gonna blow up in your face. And if you you have direct contact with it, you have more of a chance it's gonna direct in your face. If you subtle about it, playing with fire, it's eventually gonna happen. More than likely. But if you're direct about it, it's a matter of time. So don't do that shit. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just like, when you deal with white people, you know what I'm talking about? It's like, you don't have to deal with a lot of racists, but the racists that have talent and skill and have money, you have to deal with them. It's just how it is, you know what I'm talking about? You gotta be on your game or whatever, you know? Yep. But you know, out here they don't think like it's all new to them. Like some of these racist little things, green lighting and bullshitting or whatever. Like they think like, well, we can outsmart them, the fools, or we could just automatically like do whatever. And it's kind of funny because they already claim victory without even doing anything. They just throw a bunch of shit out there and be like, okay, that's it, that's done. I was like, fine, that's all right, that's cool. Ain't gonna change me. Ain't gonna do shit to me. But It's really, but it's really kind of frustrating because people just act like you're not there. So I have to act like you're not there. I don't like doing that. So I'm a nice guy, you know what I'm saying? I think someone, no, I'm not even gonna do it. But just a bunch of kids came down skateboarding, whatever, and they were just like, whatever. I was like, you all gotta move, whatever, right? Not want to move, so I grabbed one, shoved them out. I grabbed the other, shoved them away, and kept on walking. And people were just looking at me. I was like, yeah, what do you think is gonna happen? It's just like no emotion. Yeah, you have to. I mean, you gotta do what's legal. You have every legal right to protect yourself, but it's just like there's a line. It could get corrupted into where you do it for personal bias, power, or you have to do it where it defends you. And that's what you just got to make sure you do that. Yeah, you have to know your rights, man. You do. But I think someone yelled out, I was like, why didn't you get out of the way? And then, like, you literally just didn't move out of the way, is what I heard when I was kept on walking and didn't look back. And the person said, I'm not going to get out of the way for him. Well, that's what happened. There you go. Like, literally, it was on purpose. And you're just getting people hurt. If you tell, and the people that do this is, I mean, you don't see like someone that works out, someone that has a good job, someone that has an ego, pride about themselves do that, It's mutual respect. It's always these people who are nothing. Probably. I probably would too, but I stay in my lane, I'm talking about. I don't look for shit, but I don't avoid it, you know what I mean? But oh, it's updating. Iron Sipical. Iron Sipical. But in the states and mainland, you could use your mind. You could use your brain. You know what I mean? Like I could wear a New York Giants, football team jersey, and they'll be like, "Oh man," because it intimidates them. They're like, "Oh man, I don't want him to be from New York because if he's from New York, then I can't say that I'm Puerto Rican. It makes me look like a fool." And I call people out who wear New York Yankees caps. I was like, "You know where they play? You know where they're from?" I think 1 out of 10 is from New York, but it's a good icebreaker because you just want to bond or whatever, be cool with someone from New York or whatever. Do you know what sport that is? No, but when I wear it, I get a little bit clout. Malfunction. What do I need to do? Okay, so more lethal, more health, shock snipers. This is like this. I mean, remember, first off, accept the feedback, accept positive feedback, even accept the negative feedback, but don't acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? Don't like when it's negative and they're talking shit, counter it. But finally, just because after a while you keep countering everything, you won't pay attention to it. You'll just be like, oh no, I could just overtalk them, push it down, and make it like it doesn't exist. But if, like, say, like I did with not learning Spanish, I regret not learning Spanish, and I just be like, look, you need to fucking walk in a room and speak Spanish to prove you're Latino because you're white skinned. I don't, and I did that to such an effect that now to this day I don't speak Spanish even though I'm Latino, because by and large I don't need to do that. So when you don't take shit, just make sure that you're still pushing it at bay. Not letting people run over on you or whatever, but still always reach out and be cool, open the conversation, acknowledge, you know what I'm talking about? Just be careful. Yeah, don't let it ever be emotional. Don't let it ever do that, because they'll cue that's over here. Like, since I'm dark, like, oh well, I'm emotional. I was like, I'm like a near sociopath, dude. You know what I'm talking about? It doesn't affect me. It's just like that racist mentality. So I have to look like them. They're unemotional, unintelligent retards. You know what I'm talking about? So, and I want to do that. It doesn't form a bond, and I can't let it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it get to me, but I can't let it. Them think about it forms a bond. You know what I'm saying? If you build up a barricade, I'm gonna wedge that barricade and make you not over there. I'm gonna delineate you. But like, you are over there. You can't be like, well, being local and being is different from the mainland, and then all of a sudden be like, oh no, we're Puerto Rican. No, man, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm just saying. I mean, it's just like, oh, well, I'm this, but I'm going to steal my white values, my Asian values and that. Well, what about fucking other Latinos? You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to kick you the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
Get ready for a hell of a fight. Do not disappoint me.
I'm going to allow racism into my culture.
Supply cash. There we are. Hands on me.
Oh, I got the wrong map. I wanted to do the other map.
We have to go. Another day, another death drop.
Are you all down for the other map? I wanted to do the other one.
I could use a hand here. Let's do that.
I'll do it real quick. It's okay.
Well done. I'm down.
But the thing is, it's like a really hard for me to like feel anything because out here, they know who's hard and who's not or whatever. But they have these racial biases that override reason, whatever, right? When you got into number like armed robberies and assault with deadly weapons and stabbings and shootings as I did before the Marine Corps, you gotta understand, like, reasonably speaking, I can't really feel anything for people that didn't get to this level that I did. Now, don't get me wrong, I met those people in the Marine Corps, a few of them, like a handful, but they're just not a lot of them. And then for me to over here to, like, pay attention to any of these people that were not to the level that I was, I just can't. I don't understand. This doesn't make sense to me. Why would anybody think that? You know, like, why would I listen to any of y'all? You know, it's just weird for me.
We're safe for now.
I mean, having people's blood on me who try to kill me, and me sitting in court from it, and then out here someone try to like say you ain't shit for because I think you're not from America, and then the Marine Corps see what I did in public and be like, I want him in the Marine Corps. I want him, you know, to defend their country.
Roger that. Moving to the extraction point now.
Because what he did
All right, let's take a look.
was legal. He legally defended himself, you know, with deadly force, you know. No, I mean, like, when I was in the Marine Corps and a few years afterwards, like, I would be, like, in Okinawa. I would be in Waikiki, and you hear out, hey, Supreme. I was like, oh, shit. You know, I'm talking about, hey, what's up, man? You know what I mean? It was crazy, you know? I was like, oh, I'm from this part of Jersey. I'm from that part of Jersey. I was in Okinawa in a club, and I was like, oh, shit. It's like Supreme. I was like, oh, in the Marine Corps. In the Marine, you know? It was just trippy, man.
Just gonna take this.
And the thing is like, if you did it, you don't really acknowledge it, but you don't, like, put it out there. It's just like, it happens, and I had to deal with it, and I was having fun, I was chilling. You know, shit, something going crazy, and people just outright going fucking psychotic on you, and outright hate, and you're not gonna brag about that.
I'll take this.
Do I make myself clear? Interesting.
That's it.
Nice.
Because, you know, when you're dealing with that much level of racism and violence, the other side's always kind of justify what they said was right and just and legal. And what you did was illegal.
Ammo marked.
You're the monster, they're the hero.
Multiple contacts. Reloading. Totally spotted. Sniper.
Got a present for you. La 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 la.
Yeah, I'm fine. Decide on. Fight through the pain.
presents. Another one for you.
Got 'em all.
But of course. There we are. Nice.
Saint Nick is coming. But you know, it's just like they want you to be the outsider. They want you to be the different. They want you to be. They want to be justified in the you know.
Very good.
Got to the extraction now. I need ammo.
Thank you. Thank you.
And people roll the dice with me. They're like, well, what are the chances of him being Native American? What are the chances for him being a Hindu or Arab or whatever? And we don't like those, you know, and people will rally against those Hindus and Buddhists and Arabs and stuff like that. So let's accuse him of being one. So we look justified. And they crap out. 'Cause I'm not from Asia. I'm not from the Middle East, that part of Asia, from the central part of Asia, South Asia, India, or China and Japan, or whatever, the other part of Asia. So you can't rally people against me, you know? You can't be like, oh, and say, okay, well, we're justified doing whatever attitude, doing whatever we wanted. And that's why this shit falls apart, because I do what I do, and people look at me, it's like, oh shit, well, he's Native American, he followed the law, and they're doing whatever the fuck they want. You know what I'm talking about? So he was justified. And now the world became a lot smaller, and people are looking like Asians like they're not part of America either. They're not like. So they're playing with fire, and this is the first time they're experiencing that, and they're kind of being upset. And I'm like, I'm very liberal, you know what I'm talking about? Just don't put me on the outside. You put me on the outside, I have to put you on the outside. I have to mirror that. In a perfect world, I would be nice to you, but being nice to you only makes me look like a fool. Being nice to you only makes me look like a retard. Being nice to you only puts my standard of living in jeopardy. Being nice to you only puts my well-being in jeopardy. Being nice to you only puts my people in jeopardy. And I can't further genocide and hurt my people like that. It's indirect, but by and large it is true. So I have to confront it. I had to do it legally, and I wish I had other people to help me, so when I go off on a tangent, I could be nudged towards the center and be like, this is more applicable or whatever. But by and large, people just want direct power and do whatever the fuck they want and have no repercussions on their behavior. And that's why, you know, when they're out here saying, oh, I'm Latino, I'm Puerto Rican, but how many Puerto Ricans are actually out here? Very few. And they're in the military, and they're too busy, and they're good people, you know what I'm talking about? So they're going to do what they need to do to defend the country. And so you got all these fools that never encountered anybody outside the state perpetrating, stealing their clout. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, you can't do that shit. Because I know for a fact people in Jersey and New York in the 60s when Puerto Ricans were standing up for their civil rights were on the opposite side. They're saying, no, you're them. You're the outsiders. And they were not getting respect. You know what I'm talking about? My mom was one of those people. Instead of being for Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, she was on the other side. And my grandmother had to make amends to that in her family and adopted me.
Come on, we're wasting time. Time's almost up. Got him! Time is up.
I'm not your fucking target!
So, like, I know why I was adopted. I mean, granted, it's just like, they consider, like, my mom was very light-skinned, you know? I got music blaring. And so it's just like, when people, like Italians and everything, there are a lot of good Italians and everything, but the more racism you put into a minority culture, you can't teach self-hate. You can't have people not liking people of color within the Latino community. And that's basically a lot of the Asian influence, whatever, you know? It's just like, they're saying, well, one Latino's good and the other one's horrible. No, motherfucker, you know, it's just like, are you out of your fucking mind? You're not even Latino to begin with. Why the fuck are we gonna allow that shit in? It's like the whole Cuban question, right? People really think Cubans are white, and most of the white Cubans are here in America because they're the ones that escaped. But if you go to the island, it's a dark people. And the same thing in Puerto Rico. It's just like most of the lighter skin left the island because they could survive and stayed here because they could survive. And the ones that came over here usually went back to the islands. It's a dark island. Well, darker than what is in mainland.
The bomb's about to go off.
But not to the extent of Cuba. Cuba is just like, we do see it to a large extent in the Puerto Rican community.
I'll take that. Get back in the fight. Got him.
That all you got, bro? Huh? There's a weapon.
Ammo secured.
I remember growing up, like, I had this Spanish dude, and he would come up to me speaking Spanish, think he was better than me. I'm like, dude, you're from Spain. You're literally European. You're not Latino. Fuck out of my face.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not Spanish blood. It's native blood. I mean, what Latino does it? What Latino goes, oh, well, I'm Latino because I have Spanish blood, and that's it? No, motherfucker, it's part of it. But the hugest part is saying, oh, I have Boliqua, Native American. Oh, I have Aztec. Oh, I have Cuban Indian blood, Taino blood. You know what I'm saying?
Tracker destroyed.
And then when I said you don't like skin color, like, why? I'm not just like, black and slave blood, you tell me? Like, that's not part of being Latino? In that culture? It's like,
Cover me.
you don't want it to be because you want in, but it's part of it. The thing is, we're so open and welcoming, but then you gotta be careful, you know? You don't want this racism that excludes people, you know? See, play with fire, you be so welcoming, but then you allow people that are not, and they're exclusive.
Hey, we need to leave. We gotta fight our way to the raiders. Time's almost.
And that's part of the exclusion too, because people want people outside the ethnicity, because then to survive you have to do all these legal things because there's so much discrimination, and you're playing with fire to let all these people who are not down and want it to be on racism, because now they're only going to be loyal to people who they feel they want. And then you get away from civil rights, you get away from pushing for the whole community as a whole. I mean, the whole community, just elements of it. Only, oh no, I just want civil rights for these type of Latinos. I can want civil rights and equality and push for these type of Latinos when you're basically white yourself, you know what I'm talking about? It's just like over other Latinos. I mean, like, are you out of your mind? But it exists. Cubans are a huge fucking example of that. And as soon as, I mean, not in Jersey, not the Cubans in Jersey. But you get down to Florida, good number of them. I mean, it doesn't, you don't have to go far or whatever. I mean, so, and that's why whenever I meet a Cuban in Jersey growing up, I was there's a few of them up there, don't get me wrong, not a lot, very few. And I feel all uptight, you know, it's just like, you know, it's just like, oh, to deal with this shit, you know what I'm talking about? Like, no, well, you're probably teaming, but I was like, motherfucker, if you say one's above, one below, I'm going to choose above and make you below me, like, instantly. You know what I'm talking about? So don't ever try to say one should be above, one below, because you're forcing somebody to make a choice. I can guarantee you as a man, they're going to make sure they're going to be at top. You're creating conflict. You're not creating bond. You know? And in the end, that's what you want to do. You want to make connections. You know, you want to create unity. You want to create those conversations. You don't want to create delineations. You want to push someone to the outside. You don't want to push people on the periphery or whatever. And allowing all this outside stuff to say who is and who isn't creates those divides. But I mean, it's just like you need to have those three things. You know, you need to have native blood, Native American, Taino, Paliqua blood, Aztec blood, Spanish blood. Not just be like, oh, well, I have a little Spanish on this other side, so that makes me Latino. So I'm down. So I have the right to not like these other Latinos. No, it's not a check mark thing. It's not like I have a little check mark, whatever, and I have the right to discriminate. It's not like that, man. Well, you see, that's the thing you have out here, because in the mainland, they kind of deconstruct it a little bit and be like, well, I could do this, I could do that. Is that natural, organic, communication? No. It's just doing a little something, get a little clout or whatever, and pushing whatever the fuck you want for your personal agenda forward. And the community's not going to get behind that. When you grew up in Jersey, New York, Connecticut, or on the East Coast, you know that. You know what it is, you know what I'm saying? This is like... It has to be skill, it has to be talent, it has to be empathetic and push for the whole community. You know what I'm talking about? Not the image, not some little something like tech. I have to argue it. Man, bro, just be real, be empathetic, be organic, natural, real, it'll be alright. But you don't see that. People just want to do anything to get further their own cause and try to justify and make it look like it's skill. Make it look like it's organic. Make it look like it's real conversation. Make it look like the perception of it is for Latinos. Or good for Latinos. That's the world we live in. But see, I could get into a lot more depths and layers of it, but it is what it is. Alright, I'm out. Peace. Yeah. It is. It is, yeah. And you can't use that against Latinos. You can't be like, well, I know this and this and it, and then come in and be like, nah, man, boom, boom. What motherfucker is this like? We can't create self-destruction, you know what I'm saying? You got further. You see someone smart, you engage, you nurture. So that person becomes a lawyer and helps us all out, you know? Anyways, I'm out. Peace.